My stuff is great, but yours, well, it needs to go. I have to smile to myself sometimes when working with clients, when we find one person feels the other person is the problem. The other person's stuff is the issue. They can't get rid of it, they say. Sometimes there is some truth to these points. One partner may, in fact, be holding on to too much of something, and that's now out of control and taking over. But I've also seen when the mirror is turned back on the other person and we ask that person accusing the other to cull their own items or things like children's toys and clothes, they quickly say, well, these are not my things. I'm saving them for someone else, like my kids one day, or even my grandchildren will use them. Let's take a step back and look at what it might mean when you're implicating the kids as a reason to keep something. What often strikes me here is that when you question the kids, they often have little or no interest in the items someone is holding on to them. In fact, I think there's a tendency to use other people as a tool to avoid making the decision or use it as an excuse so we get to keep it. Young kids are fascinating creatures, and one interesting thing I found that when working with children, when I ask them to part with toys, they may seem at first a little bit apprehensive, but if you take the time and talk to them about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and reminding them that they don't have to get rid of everything, kids are often better at decluttering and downsizing than their parents. So much so that sometimes I have to step in and tell them to stop because they're giving away too much. The hardest part is when I see one parent sabotage those efforts and pull items back or convince the kids that they still need to keep it, even though they kids have made the decision to let it go. I'm about to hit you with a nasty truth, but I promise it's more of a reality and a reality check than you realize. Your kids don't want your stuff. That includes china, the furniture, the art, even the silver cutlery you worked so hard or felt honored to inherit, and now you own it. That can be hard. That can be a hard pill to swallow. So I ask people to politely engage the individual they think wants an item or that they would like to give the item to, and have a conversation where you ask them if they would like the item. Let me be clear. You ask if they want it, and don't tell them you're going to give it to them. 9 out of 10 times, the potential recipient comes back and says, no, thank you. Sometimes people are shocked and hurt, but at least now we can deal with it and not hold on to something because we felt somebody else wanted it. The decision has been made. What's the lesson here? Stay in your lane and deal with what you have acquired. It doesn't mean you can't offer to help someone else, but items that belong to you are your responsibility, and leaving them for your kids or executors to deal with later, well, that can be traumatic and not kind on your part. I encourage you to find contentment now in your homes rather than letting someone else deal with it for you.